Welcome to Process Mapping Tips, Tricks, and Traps, where we're going to add a little street smarts to your Greenbelt project. First up, understand that every Greenbelt project should have a POC diagram plus one type of flowchart that has a lot more detail to it. A plain old simple flowchart is going to be fine for most of your projects. If you have a lot of handoffs and those handoffs are causing delays or quality issues, by all means try a swim lane flowchart. If you're working on a cycle time reduction project and you suspect you have a lot of excess movement, then a spaghetti diagram might be good for you. If you are already experienced in lean and you want to do a value stream map as part of your certification project, we certainly accept that as well. Secondly, understand that your process map need not be a work of art. It is perfectly fine for certification purposes to go up to a whiteboard, draw a process map, snap a photo, and send it in to us. That said, there are a lot of legitimate reasons why you might want to actually use some software to document this. For example, let's say you want to change this process after you've already erased it. Maybe you want to put this into a training manual. Maybe you want to publish an article. In that case, you need to seek out some software. The question becomes, what type of software to use? The most popular amongst the professionals, the black belts and such, is a package called Microsoft Visio. This runs about $250 on up, and its sole purpose is to help you do flowcharting. PowerPoint has some nice flowcharting features as long as you're using Office 2010 and beyond. It features dynamic links, which means when you draw the little boxes on your flowcharts and then move the boxes around, the arrows will actually follow them. It used to be that you had to buy Visio in order to get that feature. Excel itself offers some rudimentary flowcharting tools, as does the Sigma Excel package that you get with this program. This said, our recommendation is that you start simple. Start with the packages you already have, like Sigma Excel or PowerPoint, and if those don't meet your needs, then investigate the more expensive packages. Beyond these options, there are many available, including free download software, all the way up to packages that cost thousands of dollars and have very advanced features such as process simulation. Here's a trap to watch out for. In this course, we told you that you should walk the process and interview people to find out how the process works. But what happens as you do that if they give you different answers? Let's say you've got a medical practice with 2 different offices and you're looking at the billing process. As you go to each office, they tell you that they do the billing slightly differently. This is not an uncommon occurrence. It's very common that at 10,000, 30,000 foot level at a SIPOC, both offices agree. But as you get down to the ground level of how we execute that, they polarize, they do things differently. In that case, we might recommend that you draw multiple process maps, one for each office. Then perhaps color code the steps that are done the same in green and the steps that are done differently in yellow. This will set you up very well for your analyze stage. Now, what if you don't have that? What if you're running a clinic and you have one process that's already documented, but let's say you have 5 different nurses? As you go to the break room and you're interviewing these people, you find that they're slightly different in terms of how they execute this process. In that case, you might want to look around and see if there is one version of this process that is the most frequently used version. Maybe 3 or 4 out of the 5 nurses are following that process. That is another option. There are no hard and fast rules here. It is part art, part science. The best recommendation we can give you is document this process at this point, keeping in mind what can you do now that will set you up really well for the analyze stage. The last trap we want to talk about is this. We told you earlier that there are 4 perspectives on the process. If you go in to interview the senior physician for the process or for the practice, and you ask them, what are your clinicians doing out there today? And he or she says, well, what I think they're doing is, stop them right there. You are about to get what this person thinks is happening. So you go to the office manager and you ask them, what is the process the clinicians are following? And they pull out a book, open it up, and say, according to the manual, stop them right there. That's the way the process should work. So you go to the break room. You find someone who's been there for 20 years. You ask them, how does this process work? They kind of look both ways and then tell you, if people around here would listen to me, here's how this thing would work. Stop right there. That's the way it could work. The only perspective that's going to help you in your efforts is the way it really works. That's why we recommend you roll up your sleeves, you go out and you personally observe how it really works. Not the way someone thinks it works, not the way we hope it works, and certainly not the way some manual says it works. How does it really work? Hopefully these tips and advice will be helpful to you. Happy flowcharting.